Hello, my name is Remy Nijts. I'm the director of the multicultural program in Campus Saltillo. This is a short instructional video for multicultural teachers. In the first slide, we can see the courses we have in our multicultural program. So certain courses are still according to the bicultural program, and the courses you see here are according to the multicultural program. The multicultural program is growing, and our aim is in 1 or 2 years to have the whole program according to the multicultural model. In order to be a multicultural teacher, you need the Global Learning Certificate. This Global Learning Certificate exists out of 5 different courses. The first one is the PTM Program Online Seminar, which is an online course you can do whenever you want. So it's not fixed to date, but the only requisite is that you have to do it before the courses start. Course number 2, 3, and 4 are also online courses, but these ones are prone to date, so you have to inscribe yourself, and when the course opens, you can join the course and get certified in these modules. The last course is a presential course and is usually organized in summer or winter in Monterrey or Mexico City. So this triangle explains a little bit what's the difference between the bicultural and the multicultural program. There are 5 different parts. We have the international experience, then we have the language block, because the multicultural program is mainly in English and has some differences in third languages. The teachers are certified. We have a different psychological approach to the multicultural students with the help of the intercultural effectiveness scale test. And then the most important of all is that the model is completely different. So the multicultural model is very different than the bicultural model. So that's what I'm going to talk about mainly today. Here you can see the 5 different multicultural competencies that we try to teach to our students. The first is attitude, the second is knowledge, the third is abilities, the fourth communication, and the 5th engagement. So attitude has everything to do with the attitude of the student, what kind of conscience do they have, their sensitivity towards other traditions and other cultures. Knowledge is the principle of the more you know, the more power you have, the more you will understand of the world, and the more possibilities you will have in your future life. Abilities is putting these things into practice. Communication is, of course, the verbal and the non-verbal skills and the sensitivity for this. And engagement is, of course, we also want to engage our students to contribute to a better world, that they have a good leadership, and that they get involved in projects or works that have a global impact. So this is the most important slide of all. I really want to stress that this slide you have to really look carefully at, because this is what you have to do when you are a multicultural teacher. So in our campus Saltillo, it is expected of you that you comply with the first 4 of the points I have stated here. So the first point is you have to incorporate in your courses a multi-project. A multi-project can be anything. A multi-project is a project that is with global impact, that can be a video conference, can be investigation, a connective multicultural learning. There are many examples. This is probably the most difficult thing to do. So if you need any help with this, I kindly refer to the website, where we have a lot of resources for you to investigate how you can do a good multi-project. And also I am completely at your disposal to guide you to get a good multi-project. The second thing you have to do is a guest speaker or a conference. So you have to invite 1 or 2 persons during the semester in your classroom. It can be a foreigner, an expert, or just a person with interesting experience. And they have to come to your class and speak about a certain topic. The third thing is the multicultural project is all about experiences. So we like to invite our students to some kind of trip or expedition. So take your students out to a museum, to a historical center, company, NGO, government agency that has something to do with your course, and that they can learn really in real life how things are, because the best way to learn is usually through experiences. The fourth point is not really a separate point, but it can be connected to one of the former 3 points. So we need parents' involvement. Parents are an important group. They want to know what their students, what their children are learning. So you can involve them by, for instance, if your multi-project is making a video about poverty in the world, you can invite them in the end of the project that the students show their video to the parents. Or if you have a guest speaker, you can invite the parents when the guest speaker is planned. The guest speaker can be planned during the class, can be in the afternoon or in the evening. The teacher is completely free to organize it whenever he or she likes. Or the parents can be involved in a lot of different ways where you're also free to choose whatever you do. I'm not going to go into detail about point 5 and number 6 because these are in fact only of importance in later semesters, not in first semester. So the multicultural program is based on connectivism. Okay, this is a very important aspect of our multicultural model because you have to change your classes on a day-to-day basis, not giving the traditional way of teaching. Connectivism is the idea that every 10 years now we have more knowledge than in the whole history before. So it means that for students it becomes really, really difficult to learn everything because information is all the time changing. So what is connectivism all about? It's in fact more about creating networks. It's the principle of the tube, that the tube is more important than the water that flows inside the tube. So the water is the knowledge and the tube is the connection. So nowadays education should be about making tubes, about having connections and networks. The way how we can do this is by the use of technology, digital platforms and social networks. So in your classes, a good multicultural teacher is in fact a teacher that always tries to incorporate this connectivism in its courses. A traditional teacher is a teacher that passes his or her knowledge to the students, but a multicultural teacher is a teacher that in fact doesn't pass his or her knowledge, but gives the tools to the students to find their own knowledge. Okay, so let's have a look at point number 2. Multi is the way to go. It's not something extra to your classes, but it's adapting your classes. This is a very important point because certain teachers, they give classes in the bicultural program and in the multicultural program. They cannot give the same class in bicultural and multicultural. So the class in the multicultural program has to be completely adapted to the multicultural model. So you cannot give your bicultural class and do something extra in the end to make it multi. It doesn't work that way. A multicultural class is an adapted class. And this brings me to the third point. Everything that you teach can be molded into a multicultural experience. Every subject or theme can be molded to make it multi. You just have to think about what you can do, how you can use social networks, how you can incorporate an investigation, how you can do group activities, how you can do things more dynamic. Also, being a multicultural teacher means that you are a person that has a lot of experiences. Maybe you're not aware of it yet, but you're older than your students are. And that means that you have more experiences. You have traveled, you have been in other parts of Mexico, you have been in other parts of the world perhaps. Students are young and interested in more than you think. So always share whatever you know. Tell them about what you lived. Tell them what happened to you, because the students, they are interested in this. And Everybody made mistakes in their lives. It's even interesting to share your mistakes because maybe they are protected not to make the same ones. Okay, then point number 4, make your exercises and activities about somewhere in the world. Sometimes teachers invent certain things just to have exercises, but the point of the multicultural program is that you're not going to invent anything. There are enough problems in the world, enough challenges, enough real examples that you can incorporate in your class. So if you're talking about certain things about history, have a look in which country it happens. If you talk about science or whatever, have a look in which country you have this kind of problems or where this is really actual. Okay, this brings me to the 5th and last point. So always get yourself actualized about everything that is happening around you. Incorporate what you know about politics, environment, tradition, religion, culture, habits, or even other habits from other parts of the world, or even in Mexico. So if you do this, you are always in a stronger position, and it's quite easy to do. The only thing you have to do as a teacher is just follow the news, follow other sources of information that can enrich you with this information. So the multi-project is one of the things that gives the most stress to teachers. So this is our multicultural website of the multicultural program, and if you have a look, we have here activities. If you click on activities, then you will see a guide of how doing a project or how do a certain activity to make your class multi. Um, this presentation is not really about explaining you how to do it. I'm just giving you the website, and you have to log in with your nomina number and with your TEC de Monterrey password, and then you have access to it and you can find all the information. But like I said before, if you need any help, please don't hesitate to ask me or other more experienced teachers. So this is apart from the website. So certain core activities you can do is a connective multicultural learning, national, international, community service learning, formative experience abroad, volunteerism, or social enterprise is core activities we try to incorporate into the multicultural program. It's not optional. This is these things we have to incorporate at a certain semester during the whole prepa of our students. So to end this presentation, I quickly want to give you some examples of what we did in the past. For instance, in Fundamentals of Life, we took the students to the Sierra de Zapalinamé or Canyon of San Lorenzo to study in real life about photosynthesis, to study in real life about ecosystems and origin of life. Even the walk was quite challenging for certain students, which makes it as well quite a challenge for them to be there. It was so amazing for all the students because of all the 28 students we went to this area, which is only 20 minutes from Saltillo, none of them has ever been in this part of Saltillo. We did a conference with Campus France, which is an institution of the French embassy that explains a little bit to the students which options they have if they want to study in France and what job opportunities they might have in case they finish their master's degree or any other kind of degree when they go to a French university. This is an example of our guest speaker. This is Alexander Sousa from Portugal, who came to speak about medical imaging. So we do that once or twice each semester because they are very inspiring people for our students. We use a lot of digital platforms like BioInteractive website for biology, but there are many others. For every course that we offer in the TEC de Monterrey, there exists certain things on the internet you can incorporate in your classes in order for your students to investigate, to search things online, to have click and learn activities, to have interactive activities or other dynamic things they can do. Students are invited to conferences, which is the same idea of for them to get inspired by people that live in outside the university atmosphere, and they tell what's happening in the real world. So it's quite nice for them to be confronted with this kind of people. Another example is of an expedition is that we took our students to El CRIT, el Centro de Rehabilitación Infantil Teletón, to learn about which kind of handicaps children have, what kind of treatments exist, and how this institution is funded. This is very interesting and very confronting for our students. Other conference about Japanese Hidotoshi Ishaishi, who came to speak about Japanese economy and geography, which was very interesting as well. This is another platform, digital platform we use. It's Generation Global. It's a kind of Facebook where other schools connect and people can interact. Our students can interact, debate about certain subjects. In this case, it was environment. Another thing we did with the school in Italy is a video conference. This is very nice for students. They really like it. When we did a survey on the end of the semesters, all students indicated that they wanted to do more surveys with other schools. We have all the tools available for you to organize such a video conference. So just go to the website or talk to me or to one of the other teachers. We can easily help you doing certain things like this. Other digital platform we used, and a website they made in informatics class, a poverty website about poverty in the world, which is also very nice multicultural project, because they learn about poverty in the world, but at the same time they learn how to design a website. So this is more or less the instructional video I wanted to make. I hope I help you. I helped you a little bit with this, and I wish you good luck for next semester, and I hope you're just as excited as I am to be a multicultural teacher. Bye bye.